Hi, my name is Matan Rosenberg. I'm here with my 1995 Mazda Miata with Koenig wheels, doing a quick overview of my build.
What a start by Matan Rosenberg. The young 18-year-old just read that perfectly.
I'm 18 years old. I've been doing HPDE events with a group called Auto Interest for about 4 years now. Started when I was 14. I then got into a wheel-to-wheel racing with Gridlife, GLTC, and have since turned my originally spec Miata into a GLTC car. Under the hood here, I went with a Ecotec, a Chevy Ecotec. It's a 4-cylinder, 2.4 liter direct injected engine. I went with this because I felt it was going to make good low-end torque, try to get out of the corners a little bit better than the K-Series. The swap kit is from Ecotec Miata. It's a standalone ECU from BMEP Solutions and a 1320 header. Other than that, it's a fairly stock engine right now. It's kind of convenient because you can get it right out of a junkyard car, throw it right into the car, and you're ready to go. For suspension, I have Ohlin coilovers, also suggested and set up by Winning Formula. That's another performance shop that specializes in Miatas. Other than that, under the hood, there's not a whole lot done. I tried to keep the engine bay fairly simple. That way, if I did want to revert it back to a different class or something like that, I was always able to do that. Another cool thing we worked on over the winter was a quick removable front end. It allows you to load into the trailer a lot easier, strap onto the compliance dyno, and also if you want to have a different setup with possibly a splitter. For GLTC, we opted for no splitter. We don't take the 3%. We have brake ducts and intake that goes to an air box. So to pull the front bumper, it's real simple. You pull the 2 front pins, unhook the lights, and we have couplers on the brake ducts, and you just pull the front bumper off. Sometimes a little bit of wiggle.
Zip tie.
And then it allows you to get a little more ground clearance, pull it off. Makes it so you can work on the car a little bit easier, walk up closer to the engine bay. So that was something we spent a couple hours on over the winter, getting that all ready. So now I'll bring you over to the side of the car. I'll talk about our wheel and tire setup. I'm running Koenig Freeforms. I really like this wheel for when we were running Hoosiers in this class. It's a nice 9.5, 15-inch by 9.5. I believe the offset is 29. This over the winter, we class switched over to street tires, so now we're running a 225/45 Kumho V730. We tried out the Falcons, and I just preferred the Kumhos a little bit for my driving style, and so far they've been doing well. So I really like this setup. I think it fits the car well, and I really always love bronze wheels. I guess that's my thing. Take a quick look around the interior now. I tried to keep the car fairly clean inside. I left the factory dash. Most of the plastics and stuff is removed behind it. There's no HVAC, AC or heater core. Just have a simple fuse panel behind there. I have a digital dash from OneGauge that reads off my OBD2 port. I have a switch panel that I made with actually parts we got out of the scrap. For safety equipment, I have Ultrashield Seats and Lifeline harnesses. I just upgraded to these Lifeline harnesses and I really like them. They seem to have a quick, smooth action, easy to adjust, and they seem to hold their tension well. Other than that, I got a big mirror, big convex side mirrors. Really allows you to see, get a 180-degree field of view. Really important when you're driving around other cars closely. Make sure you know where everyone is and that you don't hit anybody and you got all that room. Try to keep it simple in here, clean. Have a passenger seat. I really enjoy instructing and doing a lot of HPDE events still, so I like to keep a passenger seat in. I think that's kind of a cool thing that not a lot of the wheel-to-wheel cars have anymore, but I do. So if you're ever at an event where you want to catch a ride with me, just walk up and love to take anybody for a ride. Coming over to the back of the car, I have a rear wing to try to balance out some of that front downforce with the air dam. So it's pretty much at 0 degrees. It's just enough to balance that out a little bit. This is a 9 Lives Racing wing. I will probably switch over to another one of my partners is Brofab. They make Miata hub solutions as well as some brake kits, and they're looking into making some cool 3D printed wings. So I'm looking into that, try to maybe make a different profile and play around with that. I think aero is overlooked a little bit in Gridlife Touring Cup. Still definitely learning about it, but I'd like to experiment with it a little bit. Right now it's pretty set at almost 0, maybe even a little bit up, which still makes downforce at that, but it's just enough to balance the front. In this class, we do take a 3% weight penalty for it, but we've found that it is worth it. But I'd like to play around with it a little bit more. In the back of the car here, I have some external pulls for the trunk and the fuel. So, you know, crew members can help out. They can pull the trunk. I have a fire bottle back here. It's actually a land speed bottle recommended from my friend Rick Hoback. It has a really long spray time. I have nozzles pointed at the driver's feet, passenger feet, at the high pressure fuel pump, and at the exhaust header. Come to the rear of the car here. We have a custom exhaust setup that me and my help, Tyler Tokarczyk, welded up, actually also out of scrap metal. It is a Summit muffler, and it's stainless 3-inch all the way to the back. Just to keep it down, you know, we don't want a car that's too loud. I don't really like that. It's a 4-cylinder, doesn't sound that good. So just keep it quiet, have it perform well, try to set it up for torque, and that was the big thing with that. Another part of the thing they added to GLTC over the winter was FIA rain light here. So we have this wired, so when you hit the brakes, it comes on solid, and then when I turn on my lights, it'll be flashing until you hit the brakes. We also made a cool bracket here that represents my brand a little bit. Got a GoPro mount back there. It's kind of cool to see when you got some cars behind you and you're racing real close. And got your tow point marked, and another big partner of mine, Hawk Performance, who helps me out with brake pads a lot. Coming over here to my brake setup. In the rear, I have a factory 1.8 liter caliper on a bracket that spaces it out to put a sport rotor on. I have Hawk's new ER1 pad, front and rear. On the front, I have Brofab's kit with their hat and their caliper mount with an AFCO caliper and a Coleman rotor, and Hawk pads on there as well. I really enjoyed these Hawk pads. They seem to wear great, and I like how they feel, and it's really just a great pad. I've ran them for really the whole time that I've done HPDE, and I really enjoyed those. The hubs I have for this car in the front, it's also Brofab's hub solution. It is, he machines some spacers and stuff. You can slap an OEM BMW hub on, and it also is convenient because it already has the tone ring for my BMW ABS. And this is a good solution. It's held up great. I love hitting curbs when I'm out there on the track. I don't drive very easy on cars. So I have his front hub solution with extended studs, ARP studs, and I have his rear solution, which is an OEM Toyota hub that he also retrofitted to work. Extended studs on the rear too. And so far I'm really happy with them, and they've been doing great. For the corners of the car, that's about it. And the Koenig wheel is just the cherry on top. Big part of my build and what allows me to do this is all my great partners who work with me. Again, Auto Interest Driving Performance, they allowed me to start driving at an age of 14, and really was what started all this, and they support me, which is super awesome to me. Genesis Equipment, I actually work with them for my day job and work, and it's awesome that they're also supporting me. Big help. They help me with all my tires and stuff. Brofab, again, helps me with my brakes, my brake setup, my hubs. Gonna help me with some aero. Hawk Performance, been super crucial this year. Been going through a lot of pads, changing setups a little bit, trying to get a good balance. That's been a huge help. Triumph Metal Trading and Triumph Express has been a big help. We also work with them day to day, and great supporters. Crane Works is also another big supporter, and they've been super helpful. And all these partners make a big difference when you're trying out here to race and have a great time, and it's a huge help. And of course my crew, Tyler Tokarczyk, Nick Marcoux, Mario Marcoux, my dad, my family, everybody who helps me get to the track. And Northern Ohio Scrap is our family business, and that's a huge reason why I'm here and allowed to be here. So it's a big deal that everybody helps me and allows me to be here and have this fun. So I really appreciate the guys at Koenig taking a minute to walk around, check out my build. It's what I love to do and what I spend a lot of my time doing.